how do you go through this life and have experiences and allow yourself to love animals, to love people, to be in relationships, to have friendships, knowing that it can so easily be taken away? To love something greatly is to put yourself at risk of losing that thing. And that's so scary. Summer has sprung. So it's summer now. Let's do an ugly fit check. Oh, that's oh. For anyone wondering, the inspiration for my outfit was, how can I have an outfit that is so ugly? I think I got sunscreen in my eye earlier because I went for a walk with me dad. I went for a walk with my dad and Esty, German Shepherd. The sun heals all. It can also make you really unwell and give you skin cancer, which actually runs in my family. So anyway, wear your sunscreen. I'm really not lying when I say it's summer. It's fucking summer. Hey yo, mountain check. So that's one of the mountains here. Hope you love it. This makes me so happy to see. You can barely tell because I'm bad at filming, but they're planting new trees here, which is just amazing. So this is in my backyard, and this is a place I love to come. I come down here almost every day that I'm home. I've been wanting to take you into this environment for a little while because it's just so beautiful. I mean, being home and there being all this nature so within reach, it's just something that you don't get when you're in New York, when you're living in, you know, a big city. I can't tell if this looks like beautiful with the sun back there or kind of bad, but I think it's actually kind of bad. But as we walk through the woods, I thought we could talk about grief and loss and kind of what's been going on in my life lately. So 2 years ago, my grandfather died. Then this January or February, my grandma died. And then in April, we found out that one of my cats, Frances, who was only 6, needed to be put down because she had kidney failure. She stopped eating and we didn't know what was wrong, and she went to the vet and it was awful. I mean, it was awful. And what's interesting about that is we have a lot of senior animals at my house. Most of our animals are very elderly. So there's Louise, who's 15, Mabel, who's 16. Spoiler alert, Mabel died last week. We'll get there. But Goldie and Buttercup are 25 and 27. Those are the little horses. And then Hoku and Crystal are in their mid to late 20s as well, but I don't know their exact ages. But yes, and then last week, which was in May, I don't know when this will go up, but it was in May, we had to let Mabel go. She was 16 and she was having seizures, and she wasn't really, I don't really want to get into all her health problems, but she lived a very long life, and I know that she lived a longer life than she might have if she had been in a different family, and she was so loved and so taken care of and had the ability to get treatment for the problems that she was having when she was a bit younger. But something I've noticed is I don't cry when something dies. And sometimes I'll cry around the event, but when it happens, I just don't cry. People are always like, you know, everyone experiences grief differently. There's no wrong or right way. I still feel like I'm doing it wrong. Because even if I'm so sad, why do I not cry? Why is it that every time something dies, I'm looking around the room and everyone is crying except for me? And it's not some stoic like, oh, I don't cry. I cry probably more than someone should. But never, I feel like, at the right times. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? And I've just kind of realized, you know, there's not, like, grief is an extension of love. It's the love that you still have for a being, person, or experience, whatever it is, and losing it. And I think, how wonderful is it to have something that hurts so much to lose, because that means that you really loved something. But I've been having to be so, I hate that I do that. I hate that I go like, I don't know why, I do it on instinct, I don't know. But I don't like the licking my lips thing, and so often I watch back footage of myself that I filmed and I'm just like, ew, like, get a room. But it's just one person. But, you know, I've been having to be gentle to myself. And when I think about like, oh, I'm doing grief wrong, it's not said with malice or with self-punishment. It's just kind of an acknowledgement that for some reason I'm not very emotional when these things happen. And it doesn't mean that I didn't experience love and that I don't miss the person, that I don't, that it doesn't make me sad that they're gone. But I did it again. I did it again. You know, what I was saying is, how wonderful is it to have had something that was worth losing? And if you don't experience great grief, it probably means that you didn't experience great love as well. And to love something is to know that it could be gone. And that's something that I've been thinking about as well. How do you go through this life and have experiences and allow yourself to love animals, to love people, to be in relationships, to have friendships, knowing that it can so easily be taken away? To love something greatly is to put yourself at risk of losing that thing. And that's so scary. And I think I've really been having to confront that lately. And I've been thinking so much, like every time we lose something, because it's been a year of great loss and great love too. You know, Louisa's still kicking. We're getting another dog. You know, Esther's 2.5 and she's still young. But I've been just having so much anticipatory grief because Mabel was the first of the seniors to go. And we have 5 other seniors right now. We have 5 other really old animals. And to love a senior animal is to be on borrowed time, because there's nothing guaranteed about having them around. And I think it's easy to kind of know that about senior animals, but when I think about Frances, she was only 6 years old. And something my dad was saying is she's the only one that I wasn't worried about, because every other animal has some kind of health problem. Not Esty, but most of them have some kind of health problem, and there's that kind of constant fear that you're gonna lose them. And while you're having all this fear about losing all these animals, someone who you didn't even think was at any risk dies. And so I think it's all just a reminder to love deeply and openly, because you will never regret loving something more than you will regret not having given love when you had it in you and when you wanted to give it and you just didn't let yourself. Because if you cut yourself off from experiencing any kind of loss, you're also shutting yourself off from anything, from having any experience that's so wonderful it's worth losing. So those are my thoughts right now. And going back to the crying thing, you don't want to have a reputation as someone who doesn't cry when something dies, because then inevitably one time something or someone is gonna die and you're gonna cry and everyone's gonna think that that person or animal or whatever meant more to you than all the rest. And I say this because I know when Louise, my 15-year-old dog and best friend, dies, I know I'm gonna cry. And it's not funny, but I feel like everyone's gonna be like, oh, so you loved her more? Maybe the answer is yes. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. But yeah. So these are some tangled thoughts on grief, shot very horribly. And ow, these pokies are going into my back. But I've been coming out here and thinking, and I thought I would come out here and try to put some of it into verbal communication, but we'll see. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, or it gave you some kind of new perspective, or at least made you feel less alone. But yeah, grief is hard, it sucks, but it's also just a byproduct of having a life where you love freely. So yeah, thanks for watching.